Hey guys, do you know what Chicanos are? It's like a culture of, it's a Mexican like LA culture, right? Apparently there's a whole subculture in Japan of Chicanos. So let's see what the Chicanos in Japan are up to. Japón.
Hi everyone. Me llamo Mona, aka Sapgali.
Mickey said there's next to the Funkster.
Junichi Shimodaira.
And I'm Walter, your host. If you grew up in LA like I did, then you kind of understand just how big of a deal Chicana and Chicana culture is out here. And it's a way for people like myself to both honor the lives that we have here and the lives our parents left behind in Mexico. When I first heard that there were people copying Chicano culture in Japan, it seemed surreal.
That's wild.
I really had no idea that this world could exist outside of LA. So I decided to go and find out how this spread so
Sliding through editing looks super dope. I like it. Good job.
far away and why. Our first stop, the lowrider scene in Nagoya.
Lowriders. That's dope.
Lowriders are iconic to the Chicano community in Los Angeles, and were created in
You know how much it costs to get an American car that big in Japan? It's got to be expensive, because it's expensive to bring a Japanese car over here.
1940s. They came to represent rebellion, resilience, and beauty. And so I'm curious about how these cars got here.
日本にローライダーの文化っていうのが80年代ぐらいまでは誰も知らなくて、全くなかったんですけど。
That's Junichi. He's one of the godfathers of the Japanese lowrider scene and founded one of the oldest car clubs in Nagoya.
いろんな輸入のマガジンとか海外を取材した日本。
It's crazy how they have like the complete aesthetic of it. It's wild, because it's like there's a whole thing to just even the font they use for the car clubs. It's a whole thing, and they got it down.
カーマガジンによってそのローライダーっていうのが日本に少しずつ伝えられるようになったわけですよね。そっからもう文化が花開いたような感じで。
Junichi's been in this role for more than 30 years. For questions about lowrider culture and Chicano culture, he's someone who people in Japan really look up to.
車だけでなくこうなんていうんですかね、本当の、クルージングで聴くミュージックとか、からクロージングとか、やっぱり何より一番大事なのは。
From the shoes to the pants, the hats, the fonts on the shirts, the way you design the logos for the car clubs, everything.
向こうのその人たちが好きで友達になろうっていう気持ちがないと、それはただのローライダースタイルの車をドライブしている人になって。
This is like my childhood. Growing up in Miami, you don't have a lot of Chicanos in my area, but the Cubans were all about this lowrider scene too, and they were doing this a lot too.
My first introduction to lowriders were actually people in my neighborhood. My best friend and I growing up, we used to build these little lowrider model cars. All we wanted to do in life was just own these lowrider cars. Being here has me thinking about all of the cultures Japan has taken on at different points. So it's not surprising that there are thousands of people here that are into Chicano culture. For our next stop, we're heading to Osaka, the cultural capital for Chicano fashion and art.
Mickey Style.
Mickey Styles is a DJ, and he runs a shop called La Puerta that imports clothes from LA.
でキャップレイダース、ドジャース、マイミックシティ。
What's your most popular shirt?
DGA。
Why do you think people love this shirt so much?
アートは芸術やから。
Mickey Styles reminds me of someone who I went to middle school with. You know, like shaved head, baggy pants, baggy t-shirt. He goes to LA. He buys clothes and he buys gear. And he brings it back to Japan and has a thriving business.
Style got some guap on it, for sure. He got a lot of money.
So when I thought about cultural appropriation and how oftentimes there's money being made.
This cultural appropriation stuff needs to cut, man. That thing needs to stop, because you're just inviting people to celebrate your culture. Like, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with that?
From a certain culture and a certain community, he potentially fit into that.
全部リスペクトした上でファッションもやし、俺のライフスタイルの一部なんで、何言われてもだからってなります。
Even though Mickey says he respects the culture, it was weird seeing so much of the LA Chicano gang scene represented in his store. So I wanted to meet Night the Funksta, an artist based in Osaka whose artwork focuses on the positive aspects of Chicano culture.
目に見える部分でチカノたちが出てくると、特に僕たち日本人だったり、そのチカノっていうのはそういうギャングと暴力な部分だったりとか、そのドラッグの部分だったりとか、僕は書きたくないと思ってて、その家族やコミュニティを大切にしてっていうのを僕は書きたいなって思っているんで。
Mona, aka Sad Girl, is one of Japan's most popular Chicano-style rappers. She's released 4 albums, and her international fan base has taken her to perform in places like LA and San Diego.
私が、そういうカルチャーを知った当時、
I mean, that's dope that she can just like become Chicana and do her thing and make that music and be popular in Japan and in LA. Like it's good enough to be in LA, then she's a part of the culture, man. That's it.
の友達もやっぱ同じようにそういうカルチャーが好きで、こうグループがあったんですよ、女の子同士の友達。She's Mousy, Saya, Michael, Wella.
Which one of these women still dress like this?
Nobody.
Just you.
Just me.
And what do you think is the future of Chicano fashion and culture here in Japan?
私は正直なところなくなると思う。私きっかけでチカーノっていう人たちがいるんやって知った若い世代の子は多くて、でもその子たちは私を真似して知ったわけで、本当のチカーノたちのライフスタイルを本当に好きな子っていうのは本当に数えれる数名しかいないです、日本では。
ワンツーチェックワンツ
ー。日本に生まれた意味が分からなくて、でもこのカルチャーに出会うことによって私は家族を大切にするのも分かったし、なんか愛とか、だからなんか本当にこのカルチャーを知ったことで私は救われたと思ってる。何も考えたくないよ、窓の外は目打ちつける。
This story attracted me because it was asking a question about belonging. Here you had a group of people really committed to copying Chicano culture, but also deeply Japanese. And so for them, it wasn't a question of either or, but more so and.
Yeah, man. Let them celebrate your culture. Let them celebrate, who they want to be. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about being who you want to be, however you feel most comfortable. If you feel comfortable being a Chicano, you don't have to be from LA to be Chicano. You just need to respect that culture and you'll become a part of it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you got anything to say, just put it in the comments and leave a message, subscribe. Thank you guys. We're almost to 50 followers, so we're trying to get there. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.